Moves with Marvin. I am back with your April market update. We've been talking a lot recently, or in the past few market updates, about what has been going on in the market, what we expect to see in the spring. And I kept hoping that inventory was going to go up, and it has gone up a little bit, but not as much as I would like to see. So let's jump right in. Springtime definitely started a little bit slower than I think anybody was expecting, but then we've gotten pretty competitive over the last couple weeks. For example, some clients that I'm working with, one, there was a house we were interested in. We're going to submit an offer. They ended up having 7 offers already. Another one we submitted early before it got listed. I was able to get my clients into the property before it hit the market. We submitted, and there were still 3 offers on that property, and we're waiting to hear back. So things are definitely heating up a little bit more. Looking overall from the beginning of the year to now, so January to April, the median price point in our region, which is Sac County, Yolo County, and El Dorado County, have gone up 7%. But if we just look at Sacramento County, median price point has only gone up 3%. So this isn't abnormal to see for this time of year. Springtime, like I was saying in past videos, prices always go up a little bit, things get a little bit more competitive, and it's mainly because this is the time of year that people are willing and able to move. So kids are out of school, it's a little bit easier to move in the summer. You're avoiding some of the holidays, like in the wintertime, you've got Thanksgiving and Christmas, and so everybody's a little bit busier during the time with family, and so this is typically when we see a lot more activity happening in the real estate market. With this information, that doesn't mean that all homes are up 7% or 3% if you're looking in Sacramento. This is the median price point. So really, when you're looking for a home, we want to make sure that we are looking in the specific area that you're looking at, because every local market is different. Every regional market might be a little bit different. Every neighborhood might be a little bit different. So it's important to differentiate that stuff, but it's good to know kind of what's happening in the overall playing field. I'm going to go over some charts from the SAC appraiser, like I always do, that he puts out, but he had this great analogy in his last article that he wrote called the dead cat bounce analogy. This can be found on Wikipedia. I'll drop a link to it in the comments. But the idea is that even if you dropped a dead cat off of a building, it would still bounce. Who's doing that? I don't know, but this is just kind of a way to explain the theory. And so it says, a dead cat bounce is a temporary or short-lived recovery in the price of a stock. So if we relate that to the real estate market, there's a prime example that he gave in this article, which was back in 2009, there was a tax credit that was given. Obviously, this is like right after the '08 crash. And so when they introduced this tax credit into the market, prices started going up because there was a tax credit, gave more opportunity for people to do things. But as soon as that tax credit ended, we went back into the declining market that we were in before. So that's kind of like the dead cat bounce. So the question is, we saw ourselves in a declining market through the end of last year, the beginning of this year. We're seeing it go up as part of the seasonal trend. But I think one of the big drivers of that this year, similar to back in 2009, is the California Dream for All loan program that was given, because that was giving people up to 20% down payment. So they could either afford a little bit more, or people were willing to go above list price because they had this extra capital, quote unquote, that they could use to, beat out other offers because they really wanted it through this loan program. So we are kind of seeing this seasonal trend uptick. Throw that in with the California Dream for All loan program, and that'll definitely give us an uptick. So I'm interested to see if once the spring is over, we go back into this declining market, or if it's going to stay the same. Who knows? My crystal ball's broken. It's in the shop, so we'll have to wait and find out on that one. Inventory is still pretty low for this time of year, and this jumps into one of the charts that I wanted to show that the SAC appraiser put together. So taking a look at this chart, this is the Sacramento region new listings from January to April. So it has from 2013 to 2023. This gray line is January, February, March is yellow, and April is orange. You can see it right there. These are all the new listings that we've had in 2023 compared to these other years. So this is probably about 6,000. We're generally used to seeing the last 3 years, maybe the 10,500 mark. So we're short about 4,000 listings than we're used to seeing from the beginning of this year to where we are now. That is definitely playing an impact on where we're at in the market. So we're going to take a look at this second graph. This is new monthly listings in the Sacramento region. Again, Sac, Placer, Yolo, and El Dorado counties. So you can see the general trend. The green line is the average that we saw pre-COVID. So every listings go up in the spring and summertime, and then they come down in the fall and spring. That's that seasonal trend that I'm kind of always talking about. So in 2023, you can see the huge gap we have here from all of these years are pretty normal average. And then we have 2023 where we're at now. So I don't think that this will go from here, up here to even out, but we're still seeing the same overall trend line that it's coming up. It'll probably peak here somewhere and then come back down throughout the rest of the year. So with all of that being said, there are still lots of transactions that are happening in the market. So we're going to take a look at this third graph that shows us kind of what's going on. So these are closed sales in the month of April 2023. As you can see, 0% is the sold at list price line. So anything above is over list, anything below is under list. So you can see there's still a ton of activity happening between this, let's say 400,000 to 600,000 range, things selling above list price, things going under list price. So as you can see, like I said before, even though we've had 7% in the region increase in price or 3% increase in price specifically in Sacramento County, there are still homes selling above or below list price. So really make sure that you're paying attention to those local, regional, or neighborhood comps to make sure you're getting the best deal or you're putting in the right offer. But I just wanted to share this to show that with everything that I talked about earlier, there's still lots of transactions happening in the market. That is your April market recap here for the Sacramento area. Like, share, drop a comment about what you've been seeing in the area. And if you're interested in buying or selling, this is Marvin. I'm out.